Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I'm really pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. Today, we're diving into one of the most critical skills in hotel sales, the art of rate negotiation. This is a skill that, once you master it, will truly set you apart. So let's start with a question. When you hear the word negotiation, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's a battle, right? A tug of war, where there has to be a winner and a loser. But what if that entire way of thinking is wrong? In this explainer, we're going to flip that idea completely on its head. So, what do we mean by the art of negotiation? Well, it's definitely not about winning a fight. It's all about finding that perfect balance, that sweet spot between what our client is looking for, a great price, and what the hotel absolutely needs to stay profitable and sustainable. Mastering this delicate dance is what makes a good professional great. Okay, so before you can even think about negotiating like a pro, you have got to know your product inside and out. And that means really understanding the why behind every single rate your hotel offers. It's never just a number pulled out of thin air, it's a story, and you need to know how to tell it. You see, a room rate is so much more than just the price of a bed for the night. It's really the lifeblood of the entire hotel. It's what pays for our amazing staff and their training. It covers the constant maintenance that keeps the property looking pristine. It funds the technology, the housekeeping, the guest services, everything that creates that seamless guest experience we promise. So, what does this all really mean? It means a rate is a promise. It's a promise of quality, a promise of value. And when we start to drop prices too low, we're not just cutting a number, we're actually damaging our ability to deliver on that very promise. And, well, that's a risk we simply can't afford to take. And here's the thing, once you truly get the value baked into your rates, your entire approach is going to change. You stop being just a salesperson defending a price. Instead, you become a consultant, someone who can confidently explain the value proposition. And that, right there, is where true credibility comes from. All right, so you understand the why behind the rates. That's step one. Now let's talk about how to use that knowledge strategically. This is where we move beyond a simple back and forth on price and start getting creative to build real mutual value. Now, one of the most critical tools in your toolkit is something called the contribution margin. To put it simply, it's the profit you actually make from a room after you've covered all the direct costs of that guest's stay. Things like housekeeping supplies, toiletries, stuff like that. You need to know this number. It's your floor. It's the line where a deal stops being profitable and starts costing you money. And of course, your strategy can't be one size fits all. It has to change with the market. When demand is high and your rooms are a hot commodity, your job is to protect that rate integrity. Hold the line. But when things are a bit slower, that's when you need to be flexible. It's your chance to attract business you might otherwise lose, all while making sure you never ever drop below that contribution margin. And remember, flexibility doesn't just mean cutting the price. No way. A great negotiator has a whole range of options. Can you offer a more flexible cancellation policy? Maybe suggest a different mix of room types? How about including breakfast or premium Wi-Fi? These are all powerful ways to add value and meet your client's needs without just giving away the farm. Okay. This is the part where it all comes together. When you can combine that deep knowledge of your hotel's value with strategic flexibility, you can fundamentally change the entire conversation. You're no longer just talking about price. You're actually building a partnership. I absolutely love this quote. You should really keep it in mind. Your own confidence, or your lack of it, can completely make or break a negotiation. Think about it. If you sound hesitant, you're practically inviting the client to push back for more. But if you present your offer with calm, quiet assurance, you send a powerful signal. This is a fair, well-considered proposal. So, how do you actually do this? Well, it's really a three-step process. First, highlight what makes your hotel unique. Your location, your service, whatever it is. Second, demonstrate how that value directly helps your client. A smooth check-in process, for example, isn't just a nice-to-have for a corporate client. It's a vital part of a successful business trip. And finally, you frame the rate not as a cost, but as an investment in a seamless, successful experience. When you do that, you've completely changed the game. Transparency is your best friend here. Don't ever be afraid to explain why your rates are what they are. If there is a huge citywide conference driving up demand, let your client know. It shows that your pricing is based on logic and market reality, not just you trying to get the highest price. And that's how you build real, lasting trust. And listen, your confidence becomes so much more powerful when you know the entire hotel has your back. A truly great negotiator never works in a silo. You've got to be talking constantly with revenue management, with finance, with operations. When everyone is aligned and on the same page, you can be absolutely certain that every single proposal you make is strategic, consistent, and achievable. And this, right here, is what it's all about. When you bring together your knowledge, your strategy, and your communication skills, you're not just closing deals anymore. You're building profitable, sustainable, long-term partnerships. So let's circle all the way back to where we started. Negotiation is not about winning a battle. The real goal is to find a balanced solution where everybody feels like they've won. The client gets fantastic value for their money, and the hotel secures a profitable piece of business. That is a true win-win. You see, a truly great deal isn't just measured by the revenue you bring in today. It's measured by the relationship you're building for tomorrow. It's an agreement that builds client trust, that enhances your hotel's reputation, and that supports the long-term health and success of your entire operation. When you truly master this art, you elevate the entire conversation. You're no longer just haggling over a number. You're taking the opportunity to demonstrate your incredible value, to build a foundation of trust, and to create a partnership that's set up for success from day one. So, as you continue on your journey and move forward in your careers, I want you to ask yourself one simple question every single time you enter a negotiation. Are you here just to make a transaction, or are you here to build the foundation for a real partnership? The answer to that question will define your success. Good luck.